Alright guys, I'm back. Let's get this shit done. You already know the business. Obscure, unsolved mystery icebergs. Let's fucking go, guys. Quake cares. So apparently, I guess in 1848, I guess in Thailand. It wasn't Thailand at the time, but it's called Siam. There was like, I guess, an earthquake, and these kind of weird-looking hairs spiked out of the ground, like all over the place, and they're all gone now. They were all burned. I don't know how they were burned, but I guess they were burned. I guess they kind of resemble, I guess, human features of like human hairs, and I guess no one really knows what the fuck they are. Someone I guess theorized that they could be like hem palm trees. I guess I don't know, something around those lines. But it's a pretty weird case. Sugarloaf Bat Tower Ritual Murders. This one refers, I guess, back to the Memphis thing. If you guys watched the last video, you guys kind of would understand what's going on here. It talks about, I guess, Memphis again, and how it's known for like its rituals, demon worshipping, that sort of thing. It goes about that again, and then sometimes it gives us like a little more interesting tidbits of like history of what goes down there. A bunch of rappers, they pretty much worship like demons and do rituals, and even are involved in murders. Well, in this case, it talks about a particular situation where I guess a ritual did take place, I guess, in a place called Bat Tower, and I guess that's pretty about it. Just another one of those, I guess, a murder case involving some kind of like ritual. And that's pretty about it. It's same game with the Memphis. So I guess the moral of the story is don't go Memphis, guys, if you guys looking for a bad time. Orgonautic bioforms. So this one talks about a book done by Wilhelm, I think Reich. I think it's German. I think they do experiments, I guess, and I guess they made some kind of like egg-shaped entity thing called, I guess, the organomes. It's like a egg-shaped kind of structure thing, and I guess they make them with, I guess, cosmic orgon energy. And that's pretty about it. The rest of the text is just like a bunch of I guess scientific jargon. I don't understand. It's not my, I guess, forte. But if you guys can kind of decipher what's going on, that'll be kind of nice. But that's pretty much about it. It just talks about these little, I guess, egg entity things. I'll show a bunch of diagrams here just to show you guys like the kind of stuff they talk about and the shapes and how they look like and whatnot. But it really does not. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me, you know. Black bedrooms. So this one's a podcast called. Well, the podcast is called this, Dead Rabbit Radio, the daily paranormal podcast. So it's this guy. He talks about multiple stories. One about himself actually, where he's like, I guess he says his house is haunted. He sees like, I guess, satchers or satchers. It's like some humanoid, I guess, figure of like a man mixed with a horse. He talks about like some other stories of some people hearing voices and like that. I guess no one else can like hear them besides them. The main story we're here to hear though is, I guess, a story that I guess he disguises it in names, but he says like some girl named Michelle, and how I guess she's hearing weird noises, like squirrel noises, and then she hears like paper shaking. You know how when you like a crumpled paper and you like I guess squish it, make that weird paper noise. She hears that. She decides to go look for outside, but then she hears like a weird phrase like the gun. She hears like a bunch of talking, but she hears like some fucking humanoid thing saying some sentences, but she just hears the gun. And after that point, I guess her room turns into like a black void. She finds like a tunnel. It's like a black void, and like she can't see anything. It's all pitch black. And then like she tries to make like I guess a loud noise to like say something, and it's just like a loud staticky noise, like a large like digital scream. I don't know. That's about it. The guy in the podcast doesn't give a lot of information, like where he found these stories from or anything like that. So it'll be cool to look at it on yourself, but the podcast doesn't have like, I guess, what do you call it, script, like, you know, they could read off from. It's just audio, so not much information about this sort of stuff. Also, it's episode 789, so whoever knows these people, I don't know, it'll be kind of cool to put in the comments to like talk about who they are, because it's kind of interesting. Four Gods from Four Corners. So sorry to disappoint you guys again, but this one's locked by a book again, and I have no way to access this thing. So I guess it should be some money I could probably buy the book, but as of now I can't get access of it. I try to look online for these things, or like anything maybe similar to this case. What I keep getting is like something, I guess, referring to, I guess, the Four Guardians. I guess the dragon of the east, a bird of the south, and then like tiger of the west, and then black tortoise from the I guess the north. That's all I keep getting, but other than that, I can't get much else on this. Dancing cows. So this one's from a Wayback Machine, surprisingly. And it's from a guy named Scott. I guess he recounts a story where I guess he used to live with his grandma for a little bit. I think it was during the summertime. This is like a long time ago. Just keep in mind this story was created in 1998, so you can imagine how long that was ago. You see, he was like he was roughly like around like 9ish, and whenever not whenever, but one time when he was with his grandma's house, grandpa left or something. It was they were expecting for him to come back, so they're just waiting for him. Grandma was I guess creating supper, and I guess a fog came in, and then they were just keeping a lookout for I guess grandpa. They were scared that like something might happen to him, like a car crash. You know, the fog can impede his like his driving skills, and I guess at some point they found a yellow and a pink light coming out. They thought it was I guess the car lights for I guess grandpa's car, but I guess no, they're tripping. It turns out those lights were I guess some kind of dancing bowls. There was one yellow, a completely yellow bowl and a pink bowl. Like they're just glowing. I don't know. The author, the way he explains it, he just says they're glowing. And I guess grandma fainted, and then the author says that they're trying to wake her up. They woke her up, and then say that grandma said to never speak about this to anyone like ever. I guess grandpa came in. They never talked to him about it. But then a couple years later, I guess the author has like a friend. She lives like I think next door. She's like a neighbor. They will hang out, I guess. And they at some point they I guess talked about similar stories about like the bowl thing. She recounted that she had like similar experience with I guess the yellow and pink bowl, and that's pretty much about it. They pretty much share their experiences, and it's just really odd how there's like a bowl that comes during the fog, that they're both yellow and pink, and they just dance around. It's pretty odd. Nazca glowing mummies. So this one's I guess a little mini I guess book published by like a strange magazine, and it talks about a smart part talks about I guess a story of some guy, some captain, going to explore somewhere. I guess in 1989 he was going I guess to Peru. I guess he was supposed to reach a location, but he was told of some other location of a cave full of glowing mummies. He said he couldn't make it because he had I guess it fixed his boat or some shit like that. But apparently I guess these caves had like 5 glowing mummies, and they're just glowing. But the way I chalk it up is that maybe they're radioactive, or maybe they had some kind of spores. Because I guess story has is that these mummies, whenever someone touched them, they get like I guess sores. So I guess maybe radioactive spores or some kind of fucking weird disease bullshit going on. But I don't know, it's pretty cool knowing that there's like some weird mummies that are I guess glowing, but it's pretty odd though. All Colors Sam. So this is a story I guess I think somewhere in I guess maybe somewhere in the UK somewhere, because I had some place called Sundown. I guess like a side beach area. I guess the story takes place I guess in a golf course where like 2 kids are just messing around. I think around 4 p.m. What the hell, just doing what the fuck they want. So I guess they encounter a clown. For some odd reason, the book has a name for the clown. I guess the clown's called. Well, according to them, it's called Sam, the Sundown Clown. I'll give a picture, guys, just to show you how it could look like. But the story is that I guess the kids, they find this clown screeching, not a screeching, but like I guess yelling, I guess, and it kind of scares the kids. The clown has I guess a microphone, little gadget. I guess they talk to the clown, kind of like the clown talks to the kids through the microphone, just to like not scare them. I guess somewhere in the line, down the line, I guess the clown I guess invites them to I guess a little metal shack. I guess the clown resides, and pretty much shows them how he eats, what he does, and like and a bunch of little small oddities. And I don't know, that's some weird It vibes there, right? I don't know if I say so for myself. That's some like I would never go into some fucking random clown's fucking metal shack in the middle of a golf course. Like what the fuck? Like what were these kids thinking? Like a big, tall, scary clown. Mind you, that the description, they say that the clown, I guess the thing it does is like move around and screech around, and it jumps super high. Like it just like jumps knee high level, I don't know. That's pretty odd. That's the way travel. It doesn't walk. It just jumps around. But like, fuck, nah, I ain't touching no fucking clown house, bro. Fuck that. I don't even get it. I just dip and run. I don't know why they stayed in and I guess went with the clown. And I guess end of the story, I guess they told someone and I guess they didn't believe him. They thought it was like some kind of ghost or something like that. But that's pretty much the whole story. It's a pretty good hoot. Giant lunar spiders. So this one's a podcast, and it pretty much accounts a bunch of stories that people have of like paranormal activity. It goes over like the Mothman, Shadow Man, sleep paralysis demons. But the one that we're going for is I guess the giant lunar spider, and I guess it's pretty much the story of I guess some guy hanging out with the boys at some like fishing spot. I guess it's getting like sunset time, and they look at the moon, and I guess a huge spider the size of like I guess 75% of the moon just comes out, just resides next to it. I think they a kind of like a big spider with 6 legs, just on the fucking moon, and that's about it. It just disappears, and then I guess only the author, whoever made the story, and I guess his buddy were there to witness it. There's a bunch of other people with them, but they didn't I guess care to notice. So whenever I guess the time comes when they're like when the author's camping with his boy, they just pretty much always talk about it. They're like, "Hey man, remember that spider on the moon?" Like, yeah, bro. Huge ass spider size almost of the moon. But that's pretty much about it. Giant glowing living fire hoses. I don't know why the name's like this, but I'm giving like a Wikipedia article. Not Wikipedia, but it's like I guess a fandom article. And it just pretty much telling about like a weird squid invertebrate sea serpent. I guess it's transparent and I guess it glows. There's a picture of it of I guess some divers that took pictures of it during I guess like a catch of a shark cage thing. But there's some sightings I guess in Sandy Hook and I guess Santa Barbara and Gulf of Mexico of these things. But there's really not much to us besides this. Just I don't know, it's a really unknown sea creature thing that we don't really know much about. Behrens Pub final photo. So this one's I guess a place that just vanished. It's called Doveland and it's in Wisconsin. I guess supposedly this photo is pretty much the last remnant of the fucking place. But when you go, I guess it's in I guess Reddit. But people chalk up to be just like a place that just got flooded down. And I guess the last remnant of this fucking place is that photo that I'm gonna put out in here for you guys to see. But that's pretty much about it. It just pretty much chalked up to be I guess missing. It exists because there's evidence of it, but I don't know, just a lost city I guess now. Chatworth's crash ghost calls. So this one's kind of sad, but I'll say it to you guys anyway. So I guess a train crash happened I guess in San Fernando Valley. I guess the guy involved, his name is Charles E. Peck. I guess he died I guess in the crash. You know, kind of sucks, but the weird occurrence of this thing is that I guess his wife, his fiance, not his wife, but his fiance was I guess she found out about the thing, and a couple later hours later, she'll receive I guess calls from I guess Charles, but the dude's dead. So like, well, what's going on here? It turns out I guess he was sending out calls. I guess he's deceased, just mind you, but he's sending out calls to his loved ones, his brother, his stepmother, his sister, his fiance, and this was all occurring after he died. So this is like the odd part. The article that we get, it says that this could be caused by I guess another phone, possibly maybe someone else is trying to contact their family, maybe because of that. But that's the odd thing. So like, it's chat from. It doesn't say who or what like details of like how the calls are going. Maybe it's his voice or whatnot. But I don't know. It's very odd. It's a really odd occurrence. What? Evolution of Botany 72. So this one's a book. You know, of its name, it's called Evolution of Botany 72. This book was created by I guess Benjamin Czar. I guess he's pretty much challenging I guess a bunch of scientific discoveries, you know, of again mitosis, creation of like cells. He pretty much goes against every single thing that scientific was created when it comes to like cell division, all that good stuff. Plant growth. He changed a bunch of stuff, the way I guess genetic information is told, mutations of I guess in plants. He's just pretty much trying to like outwit all the science guys, you know. That's pretty much about it. But it's a pretty interesting read though. Ghost stations and vanishings in Japan. So I remember reading the story a long time ago. It was pretty interesting when I read it. But so it's pretty much how it goes down. So it's an article it leads to, I guess, like of some I guess it's the disappearance of this one girl named Hatsumi. I guess this happened in 2004. I guess she was going to a train. I guess uh, she thought it was, I guess, the I can't pronounce it that well, guys, but Inishu Railway Line in Shinoku Prefecture. She thought she was going through there, but she went through some kind of mysterious tunnel and like that no one really knows about. And I guess she went to some, I guess, imaginary place called the Kusaragi, also known in English, I guess, the Demon Station. She didn't know where she was at. She was texting, I guess, through her phone through a popular app called, I guess, 2chan. And the people there were telling her that the app place doesn't exist. Like, she's on crack, and then her GPS is going off. Like, she's nowhere on the earth, I guess. And she's pretty much asking for help. Like, hey, guys, help me out. I don't know where I'm at. Help me out. And, I guess, no one could find where she was at. And, I guess, she encountered, I guess, a one-legged man, supposedly, that told her to not go to not go on, I guess, the train tracks. And then, I guess, it disappeared. And then later on the line, I guess she was trying to get help still, and she encountered this one guy, and I guess the guy offered her a ride, and everything seemed normal. She got into the car, like, you already know how bad this is gonna get, and like the guy seemed normal. He answered her questions for, I guess, several minutes, and I guess later on the guy stopped talking. He just became dead silent, and then just started speaking gibberish. Mind you, they're heading to the mountains for some odd reason. I don't know why. And Hatsume said that I guess her phone battery was dying. So you can already know that this sounds kind of sus, but the story goes that she got, I guess, she was never found after that point. So I guess her phone died, I think. But that's how the story goes down. She just got lost, and I don't know, she was lost in this unknown place. But then another story happens where I guess a guy says he pretty much went to the same scenario, I guess, as Hatsuma went through. But I guess his account was fake. He said that he went to some place, like the same station. But he went to, I guess, a supermarket later on just to see where he was at. But he took pictures too. But everyone pretty much found out they were a hoax because I guess, someone just and analyzed the photos and denounced them as fake. So it's just a hoax. Fence Fiend. So this one's from a book. It's a single page, but it's from a book called It Happened to Me. I don't know anything about this book, but besides that, it seems to be a collection of stories of paranormal activity, I guess, from people. And I guess the story that we're working with, it's told by, I guess, a girl and I guess her friends. She resides, I guess, a place called Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. I don't know where that's at, but that's the location, guys. I guess the book says 5 years ago, which I don't know what that means because it doesn't give a time frame, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe it's from the time this book got published, but I'm not really too sure. But this is the way the story goes. So I guess the girl was mentioned, I guess, like some kind of little myth, some little hoax, and they were told to like I guess find this little hoax. The hoax is pretty much saying to find this like a humanoid figure. I guess they know where the location was, so they're like, oh fuck it, let's go, let's just see if it's real or not. And you already know how this is going down. It's not going good. It turns out, at nighttime, they're supposed to go to this area near, I guess, their neighborhood. It's pretty close from where they live. And they're from their point of view, they see a fence. They pick the random location. And the book doesn't clearly tell you where they're at exactly, but I guess there's some kind of pavement road that's pretty dim lit by lights. And I guess they stay at a certain place and look at a fence. And then I guess they're told to see from, like, I guess 20 feet away from them at that fence some kind of thing. And they do see something moving, and I guess it turns out to be some kind of humanoid figure. And the weird part is it's like a weird Slenderman clone with eyes and orange hair. It's pretty odd. It's like a man carrying a doctor bag. I don't know. It's very odd with, like, the guy's wearing gloves, orange hair. His head's kind of shaped like a pear. It's very odd. The author, I guess the storyteller at this point, says that they pretty much just went like normal away, and they never saw it again. They tried to replicate, I guess, the situation, but they never saw the human thing ever again. They said that the thing was kind of seemed like a projection because the human thing would never move. It would just move like a step forward and step back, almost as if they're kind of observing them. But it's pretty odd. Deceased loved ones aboard UFOs. So this one's kind of sucks, guys, because it's a book at the buy on Amazon, and you already know I can't fucking buy it. From what I do see in the summary thing, it says, well, this is why I can pretty much, I'm thinking what the book is about. It's pretty much saying, I guess, instead of like a heaven thing, or maybe like heaven could be connected to like UFOs. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a connection through there, but I guess maybe heaven could be just UFOs, or like I guess when you die, it has maybe some kind of relation to like aliens. But I don't know. I don't have access to the book, guys. So I can't help you out. But that's pretty much about it. Alright, guys. I'm not gonna say the word for this one, but this one talks about Moai statues. And then if you read the title, you guys can guess what's going on here. I couldn't find anything particularly for this. I just found a bunch of like articles showing like the Moai statues having like a more part of them to them, I guess. If you don't know what these are, I'll show a picture of these things. But I guess these are those big head statues from Polynesia. But I couldn't find anything else on this or particular about the thing, but that's pretty about it. I'll send you guys some pictures here just to see like the big uncovering like beneath them. Einstein visited Roswell crash site. So this one talks about a book called When Einstein Went to Roswell, I guess by Peter Strasberg. And the book, we don't even read the book, guys. It pretty much sums up the little article thing here. It's pretty much saying how I guess Einstein went to this crash site and discovered UFOs, and it kind of defied his way of understanding of physics. And he pretty much thought up these two ideas of like I guess this Big Bang Theory is pretty much proven wrong, and that we're in a fourth dimensional universe. It's like curved. I know it's pretty odd to think about, but that's pretty much about it. Bhutan shadow market. So everywhere I looked on the internet, this shit's wiped. It's like someone, I guess, went out their way to get rid of all the evidence of this fucking piece of the iceberg. I don't know. The funny thing is, there's a Reddit post, I guess, by the r/Wendigoon. Our boy Wendigoon, the goat. Well, pretty much whoever made this thing though, they pretty much removed everything of it. And there's not much else online about it, just people talking about it, saying hey, it could be some possible, I guess, marketplace of this weird elixirs or something like that. Someone even said that like they sell elixirs that pretty much make people immortal. But other than that, I don't know. I guess it's some underground, some wannabe like magical place selling place. I don't know. Sounds cool though, but there's not information out about it. Everything's wiped out. Okay. King Charles XII of Sweden, Little Gray Man. So this one's locked again by a book that I can't buy. So we kind of just write it on this part. But luckily, through research, I found a little excerpt that pretty much explains it here what's going on. So essentially, well, let me read you guys the book first. So the book is called, I guess, Real Ghosts, Relentless Spirits, and Haunted Places by Brad S. It was made in 2012. I guess on page 3134, I guess it talks about how, I guess, King Charles XII had, like, I guess, a personal Grey Goblin servant that'll pretty much tell him, I guess, future events. And that's pretty much just about it. Moai tribes of Antarctic. So this one's pretty much talking about how, I guess, there's traces of, I guess, tribe activity from the Moai people, I guess, in Antarctic. So this suggests that, I guess, they were the first ones before, I guess, the European expeditions. And that's pretty about it. The evidence they bring about is just like carvings, kind of like, they call it, I guess, gray literature. Essentially, I think they mean like carving on the walls, like stone walls. And that's pretty much about it. Oh, also on weaving too, and that's about it. Schnelf online player base rumors. So this one, I'm not sure if you guys know, but on the link it provides you, I guess, a Wendigoon r/Reddit post again. Pretty much Wendigoon asking like, what is this? Can I get more information on this? And this, from what I know, Schnelf Online's, it's a MMO. Well, from what I know, because I've seen a lot of Nextbook videos. But Nextbook does a fantastic job, like, pretty much talking about Schnelf Online. It's just like a big MMO mystery of this like weird obscure video game that seems like, I guess, it's like a HTML video game. It's not really like a download game from what we know. The reason why I say that is because I found a lot of, on my own time, a bunch of like unknown discovered videos showing like gameplay of it, and it could be like a Flash player game maybe. But for this player-based rumor thing, I couldn't find anything on this per se, but there's a lot of videos out there now. This thing's kind of heavily documented now. There's a lot of new information rushing through here. But this one in particular, I'm not sure what it's kind of referring to. Simpsons weird Matt scrapped character. So this one sends you a link to, I guess, Graggle. If you guys don't know, this kind of just deserves a video of itself. But Graggle's like, I guess, a fan-made character that supposedly existed the whole time in Simpsons. It's like, I guess it's supposed to be like a joke now, with like the Mandela effect. People are just summing up like, oh, pretending that this character is actually real. It's not real. It's just a fucking fan-made character that people are chalking up to be like, oh, this thing used to be in every episode, bro. He's always there. Some fake character. It doesn't even look like it belongs in the, I guess, the series. But I've sent pictures here, so you guys could tell who it is. But there's a bunch of videos online, but I might even do a video myself on Gargle because it's pretty interesting, and a bunch of people that create like content for this like character, I guess, and the stories and all that good jazz. But it's a fun thing to look into. Mitochondria is an alien parasite Eve theory. So when you click on the link for this thing, it sends you to a book, but you already know the deal. I can't buy the book. I have no access to the book, and the summary of it don't help. It shows a bunch of like, well, from what I get from the summaries, it's about like, I guess, slimes, and that's pretty much about it. Talks about slimes, Lovecraft a little bit, horror, survival, stuff like that, random jazz, and I don't know, just the life of slime and something related to that sort of sense. But then I don't know how it's linked with the Parasite Eve theory. Doesn't, when I see in the summaries, how I don't know how this book kind of links with Parasite Eve. But I'm talking about, it's probably like the video game Parasite Eve. You know, those old classic video game PlayStation game. I don't know what the fuck what this is referring to, but I don't know. Also, I forgot to note that the book is called Slime Dynamics, if you guys are interested, by Ben Woodard. And that's pretty about it. Curly's Night Visitor. So when you click on the link, it sends you to, I guess, a not secured site. But, you know, I'm fucking risky, so I risk it for the biscuit. But it sends you to, I guess, an old story. Or I guess in 1937, a guy named Curly, I guess, he was in his house, just straight up chilling. And then at nighttime, I think around 2 a.m., he, I guess, encountered, I guess, a weird noise coming from, I guess, his outside of his back of his house. And he noticed like a figure that was going through gates and, I guess, pretty much approaching the house, his house. And then I guess it goes to his house and then goes to his room. And I guess the thing is like a humanoid figure, but it's like a fox with a top hat. And it just stood there. He yelled at the fox, I guess. And I guess the fox just disappeared into the, I guess, the woods. I don't know, it's a pretty odd story. Enrico Fermi, Impossible Sabotage and the 14 Phenomenon. So this one, we went over this book before, but, you know, the Kill John, the Cosmic Question. It pretty much goes over a lot of UFO stuff, you know, a bunch of stories. And for our case, for this one, it talks about pretty much Enrico Fermi, atomic plant. And essentially, it talks about how it's like a hotspot for, I guess, UFO sightings. And that's pretty much about it. But then the 14 part, I don't know why they pronounce it 14, but I don't know. It's a weird way of saying it, but they're pretty much an organization that pretty much records UFOs and paranormal activity. And that's pretty much about it. Alright, this one, for obvious reasons, I can't talk about this one. Because, you know, YouTube policy, you know how it goes, guys. But if you're really interested in this one, look up yourself. It's pretty much like out there, like all willy-nilly. But I don't know, good luck, guys. Being shadow banned from the entire internet. This one kind of sucks because the post is gone now. It gives me a 404 page, so I can't really see what it was from the link. And I tried to look online, but it just pretty much told me just straight up definition what shadow banning means. And I'm not trying to look for that. I'm trying to look for this one. I'm pretty sure back in the day, I think I saw this post around here somewhere, but I don't remember what it was, and I kind of forgot. I'm not sure if it's on the video. It's a thing I don't really recall, but it seemed pretty interesting. I kind of forgot. But anyway, this is pretty much about it. Commercial human hunting, PNW. So as the title suggests, yeah, it's pretty much talking about human hunting. The link we were given, it puts us on, I guess, an X board. It's called the Paranormal X board. I'm pretty sure we've been here before in a different video, if you guys stuck with me or not. But essentially what this is talking about is like some guy saying like, oh, there's a rumor that I guess somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, somewhere like in Oregon or Washington, there's like, I guess, people that do this sort of thing. That's about it. The bottom of the text, like much of the comments, It's not, I guess, not safe for work. There's a bunch of racial slurs and a bunch of people arguing in a really bad manner. So, if you guys are interested and want to look into this, be careful. You might see some stuff that might make you unsettled. The U.S. provides demons with diamonds. And I just hearing this one was like, what the fuck? I read the post and it's just a bunch of nonsense, like a bunch of ramblings of like these weird half-thought conspiracy theories. There's a bunch of crazy ones. If you want to read it, it's a pretty fun read. But the one that we're focused on is the diamond one. So apparently, I guess the U.S. Provides demons diamonds so they could fucking they can use the diamonds to, I guess, power their UFO crafts, I guess. And that's pretty much just about it. And there's like, I guess, 4 UFO bases, one on the moon, one side of a mountain in Tibet, and then one in a lake in Russia, and then one in Atlantis. So like, I don't know, make do with what I just told you right now, but I don't know, it's a bunch of weird jargon. I don't even see this as a mystery, more just a conspiracy. You know what I mean? But it's a pretty good read. Ingots. So this is referring to like an old forum post talking about, I guess, a monster called a lingot or an ingot. Essentially what they are, I guess they're like poop looking monsters. They're just a bunch of fuzzy looking monsters that kind of resemble in weird oddly like swamp areas, or depending which way like the story's being told. But some guys from just questioning about it, like what are these, and are they like from some kind of French origin or some like some Chinese origin. But that's pretty much about it. There's pictures of them, like depending which story you look at, so I'm not really sure which one to choose out from, but I'll put some pictures here to show you guys how they look like. Aliens are evolved dolphins. So this comes from the website unexplainedmysteries.com, and I guess someone's made an old post from like 2004. Some guy named Scar, he's pretty much talking about something called the Dolphins of Heaven. I guess I'm not sure if it could reference a book or not, but it's like by Richard D. Butler, so I guess it's not from him, I guess. I'm pretty sure we mentioned him before, I just can't really recall at the moment, but he talks about, I guess, this sort of like weird alien subgroup called the Greys. And he just pretty much just talks about how they look like aliens and they're extraterrestrials. And people were down in the comment section pretty much saying that the Greys could possibly be dolphins, but there's not really any connection or reasoning to how they're dolphins. So if you guys can tell me, let me know, please. Alright, I'm gonna try to get my best, I guess, pronunciation of this, but I don't know if I butcher, guys. I'm so sorry, especially for the guy's name. So TTT Key Goatski. I think I butchered the last part wrong, but let's see. So the story is just about, I guess, a guy who's going to, I guess, do surgery in South Africa. This took place in 2017, October 5th. And I guess the guy was supposed to take surgery, right? And I guess he was with the nurse. The nurse, I guess, backed away. He was on the bed just laying, but when she left, I guess he miraculously just disappeared and vanished. The nurse came back not long ago, and it was like, what happened to him? I guess turns out 13 days later he was discovered, I guess, dead on the ceiling of the hospital. You might be like, what's going on here? Well, there's not really much explanation what's going on here, besides the fact that, well, there's some evidence that it could have been himself, I guess, moving, especially in that short amount of time. So it must have been like maybe a cover-up, because the surgery, I guess, not surgery, I mean the evidence said in here, so that he couldn't walk. So it could have been him. Had to be someone else carrying him, or I don't know, teleportation. That's pretty much what the, I guess, the thing chalks up to be. But in the bottom, it gives us like some kind of like maybe some kind of evidence, some kind of side story, maybe the possible like solution what maybe happened. So it was chalked to be like, I guess, like a murder mystery. I guess maybe someone did this on purpose to kill him. But that's pretty about it. It gives me some kind of Higurashi vibes, but that's about it. And there you have it, guys. That's pretty much, I think, we're on 17, right? I kind of forgot, but I think we're on the 17th, I guess, Slayer, I guess. From you guys have it, that's pretty much about it for now. I'm going to try to get the next one out soon. But remember, you guys, these take time and research. The reason, I think, if you guys see a bunch of uploads, it's because I had these built up, like, half finished. So you're like, oh, this guy's fucking rushing through them. Not really, guys. I did these like fucking a while back, but it just takes time to research these things. And like some of them, a lot of the information is not out there, closed out, and a lot of these, from what I've seen, they get recently added. Like a bunch of new stuff gets added to these things. So I have to come out, redo some stuff, It's a big hassle, guys. It takes a lot of time making these videos. But I would appreciate if you guys, like and subscribe. The usual. Please share the video if you guys are watching. And I have a Patreon. Also, I have a second channel that involves me just playing video games. Currently, right now, it's just filled with videos. They're just like non-commentaries because I'm not really sure what kind of direction I want with this channel. I'll say maybe making more of a funny channel, but I'm not really too sure as of right now. I don't really get a following, so that's not really motivated me to make any more, video game content. I have a bunch of clips I could put in, but I think I might just aim for these, just for the background, because I think some people seem to enjoy them. Just watch something idly while they hear a bunch of conspiracy theories or all these mystery stuff. Then again, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.